Ninguno de los dos sabía qué pasaba, pero la salud de Jim peligraba y cuando sus pesadillas se hicieron más frecuentes, los médicos que observaban su condición se preocuparon. Repetidamente le preguntaron qué lo mantenía despierto de noche y cuando supieron el contenido de sus sueños, le hicieron más preguntas. Al final, un psiquiatra que trabajaba en el caso dijo que le recordaba una situación de secuestro. El médico recomendó a Jim que hablara con el investigador de ovnis, Ray Fowler. Fowler se tomó la historia en serio. Poco después, los 4 hombres se sometieron a hipnosis. De pronto, otros detalles de lo ocurrido esa noche de agosto de 1976 comenzaron a emerger.
One of the things I remembered very clearly was Jack saying that it's gaining on us. And I remember suddenly being enveloped in this tube of light. And I remember looking up, and I was thinking about, what the heck is that up there? You know, like, what's up there? And that took a few seconds, and then I looked back again, and Chuck Rack's gone. The last thing I remembered was having both hands on the side of the canoe, looking out at the water to see if Chuck was in the water, and then not seeing him, thinking, oh my God, you know, what happened to Chuck? And then looking up, and then the next thing I remembered was this just intense feeling of almost like I was coming apart or something. That's the only way I can describe it. Then the next thing I remembered was being on my back in this hazy environment, which was just like this nightmare that I've been having.
Una vez que la confusión de sus sueños fue aclarada, pronto se descubrió una aterradora experiencia.
I'm lying on my back, and I'm disoriented. I'm not sure where I am. As I'm forcing and struggling to get up, a face appears and looks straight down at me.
It reminded me of insects. I remember thinking, God, these things look like bugs. It had like large eyes, almost like ants have. They could have been goggles for all I know, but and they had some kind of clothing on, like spandex. I became focused on this thing's hand, realizing that it was not a hand like ours at all. And this one had me by the wrist, and he was holding my arm up, and he had something else in his hand. But I didn't like the looks of it. And I remember thinking, oh boy, here we go. This is it. I got 5 seconds to live. They're going to cut me open. They're going to dissect me, whatever. I just want to get out of here. Get me out of here.
Tomaría horas de hipnosis para que los 4 hombres relataran los exámenes extraterrestres. Luego, cada uno recordaría una parte de los hechos que los regresarían a la Tierra.
They moved us again into this other space, this room. Then this area in front of me started changing somehow. It was doing something, some type of machine or something. It was very strange. And the last thing I remembered thinking was, here we go, I don't know what's going to happen next, but something is happening.
Under regressive hypnosis, I remember the aliens trying to put me in the canoe. There was one of them standing in the canoe over me, trying to adjust my position in the back of the canoe, and another one was sort of waist deep in the water right next to me. And then they tried to position Jim Weiner in front of me, but he's heavier, and they were having a hard time with him. And then the other 2 were beamed right on land, and then Jim got out to join them.
Mientras el incidente Allagash se develaba, los 4 hombres hallaron la explicación a la tan rápida combustión de la fogata. Para quienes investigan casos de secuestro, esto se llama tiempo perdido. Según los nuevos relatos, este tiempo perdido pudo comprender unas 3 horas, comenzando con la visión del artefacto desde la canoa, hasta el momento en que recuerdan haberlo visto partir desde la orilla. Sin embargo, la explicación del tiempo perdido no calmó sus nervios. De hecho, al final de sus sesiones de regresión, tenían más preguntas que respuestas con respecto a los hechos de esa noche en Smith Pond.
I mean, every time I had one of these experiences, you know, I would rationalize it as a dream so I could cope with it and say, well, what the heck is really going on here? You know, is it related to my seizure disorder? Is it, you know, something I'm eating? Do I have a brain tumor? You know, am I working too hard, or am I under a lot of stress? What the heck could possibly cause this kind of repetitive experience?
Los 4 hombres de este incidente no están solos. Su historia tiene numerosas similitudes con las de cientos de miles de personas que llevan una vida normal. Una vez reunidos, estos testimonios comprenden el cuerpo de evidencia anecdótica que ha llamado la atención incluso del más escéptico de los expertos. Además, su búsqueda de explicación los ha llevado a conclusiones radicales. Tan increíble como parece ser el incidente Allagash, es tan solo uno de los cientos de casos que se ha reportado en estos años. En el mundo del estudio de los ovnis, es un caso confiable con sólidos testimonios oculares. Para quienes estudian el caso, este confirma que un creciente número de personas es afectado por encuentros con lo desconocido.
I don't think we have proof that people really are being abducted and taken on board ships and probed with needles and all that. Here there is no real physical evidence. Certainly there are no photographs. There is a lot of testimony, but testimony alone doesn't convince a lot of people.
If you had the amount of evidence for the reality of the Allagash abductions for any other subject, any mundane subject, in a court of law, you could hang a person probably. But because of the bizarre nature of the case, that's not going to happen. People aren't going to accept that evidence, although the evidence is there.
Las evidencias incluyen a 4 hombres sometidos a exámenes psicológicos y al examen del polígrafo antes de las sesiones de hipnosis. 4 hombres que daban descripciones similares del mismo hecho. 4 hombres que han pasado los últimos años tratando de aceptar que fueron parte de algo que sobrepasa sus límites de entendimiento.
I've heard it all, everything. Oh, they must have been on LSD, and people have said, I don't believe a word you say, you're nuts, you're crazy, you belong in a straitjacket. And I say, well, it's part of my life, I can't deny it. And one of the things that's really weird is that you find yourself getting used to the idea that you've been abducted, and that's weird in itself. I mean, how do you get used to something like that?
Han pasado 20 años desde el supuesto encuentro. El incidente Allagash es uno más del abundante número de experiencias que demuestran que el fenómeno existe. Pero este caso no escapa de su propia polémica. 3 de ellos están seguros de que todo ocurrió, pero uno de ellos no está tan seguro.
I'm not denying this happened. I'm just skeptical about the abduction part of the story. To that extent, it wasn't like a visceral reality experience. It wasn't like a true memory. And that's what I had trouble with for years and years and years. Certainly, I shared the experience with the rest of the guys, and they might take that as remembering a real experience, but it's not. The encounter is real. I know that. But regressive hypnosis several years later, I don't know.
Incluso quienes creen en los ovnis tienen dificultad para aceptar los casos de secuestro, como el incidente Allagash, así como datos de peso para explicar el fenómeno.
They clearly had a UFO sighting. Clearly that event took place. But we've now blurred the boundary between reality and fantasy. We worked for thousands of years so that we understood that dreams were dreams. They were fantasy. They were not necessarily a reflection of reality, and yet in abduction research, if you dream about being abducted, well, that's all accurate information. And we've got to get back and take a solid psychological look at this.
Otros investigadores dicen que ya han hecho un análisis psicológico sólido. Dicen que no todas las descripciones de un secuestro se revelan en sueños o bajo hipnosis, y que muchos recuerdan fácilmente esta dramática experiencia con detalles estando despiertos.
If you trace the history of this, before this subject was even known, before it was all over television, before people were aware of it, the patterns were already established. So it seems to me only two apparent possible explanations for this. Either they really are being abducted, or there is some totally unprecedented, unknown mass hallucination or delusion going on, and that should be of great interest to science too.
Clearly, no one would believe or even take seriously the abduction phenomenon if there was only one person who was telling these tales, regardless of the social pedigree of that person or the prominence of the investigator who investigated that person. We would just say, well, that person's hallucinating, deluded, crazy. So the reason that the abduction phenomenon is a phenomenon is that many people report abductions with conviction, and that they report similar details of the experience. So the question is, where does this consistency of storyline arise from? Even if people are hallucinating, why are the hallucinations the same?
Aunque los científicos no acepten el fenómeno como un todo, no rechazan la sinceridad de las descripciones de los secuestros. También creen que miles de personas experimentan algo, pero aseguran que sus descripciones no tienen relación directa con un encuentro con extraterrestres, sino que obedecen a estados alterados de conciencia.
It certainly is puzzling to have as much consistency of the testimony and then not find any physical evidence to back it up. What you have to realize, and what I think mainline scientists find pretty difficult to acknowledge, is that this is not at all unique.
The human brain is the most complex object known of in the universe. We know of nothing more complex, and it produces a vast range of conscious states and mind states. So somebody's driving along, and they've been driving at night for hours upon hours upon hours. They go into trance, and the next thing they know, they're being miraculously floated off up into a spaceship. If you look at the idea of floating off to a spaceship, you are looking at perfect description of an out-of-body experience, a lucid dream experience. There's a whole gamut, a whole range of sleep disorders that fit in absolute detail everything that an abductee describes. What we have is a total ignorance of these states of consciousness.
Estos estados de conciencia no solo incluyen los sueños lúcidos y las experiencias extracorporales, sino las parálisis del sueño y los episodios cercanos a la muerte. Todos estos son investigados actualmente, pero aún no han sido entendidos por completo. Quizás en algún momento del futuro cercano, sus conclusiones ayuden a determinar las razones de estos relatos de secuestros. Sin embargo, si se demuestra que estos estados alterados de conciencia son típicos del fenómeno de los secuestros, según los investigadores, los científicos tendrán dificultad para aceptar que estos extraños hechos ocurrieron.
We've been conditioned to believe certain things regarding what society, what scientists, what theologians tell us exists and what doesn't exist. And when something intrudes into this reality and it doesn't fit, it's taboo because people don't want to accept this because it affects their worldview. So this goes across science, theology, you name it. It's very hard to accept things that just don't fit our preconceived notions of what should be and what shouldn't be.
You can't rule it out. You either can find evidence that it's real or you can't. But you can't say it doesn't exist. You can just say, well, we've looked for evidence so hard so many times and we haven't found any, that we're never going to find any evidence, and therefore that it's not real.
Es necesaria una combinación de fe y ciencia para llegar al centro de este increíble misterio. Sin esto, quizás la evidencia necesaria para convencer a los más escépticos jamás sea hallada, al menos aquí. Pero para algunos, esta evidencia existe en algún lugar lejano.
Usted está viendo En Especiales Mundo.
Junto a la falta de evidencias concluyentes, quizás el mayor problema que rodea al fenómeno de los ovnis es el conflicto entre el deseo de creer y el miedo a lo desconocido.
The UFO phenomenon is a great challenge to our intellect, but even more, it's a challenge to our humility. That mankind likes to think he's in control. And if we take this subject seriously, we realize we're not. But I believe that mankind, across cultures, is fundamentally in psychological denial on this subject. We don't know how to cope with it emotionally. We can't even begin to grasp it intellectually.
It's an issue really on the intellectual scale of Copernicus Part 2. Copernicus said that we weren't physically at the center of the universe, that we were just a little blob that orbited around the sun. The part 2 of that revolution would be that we're not the only intelligent beings in the universe, but that there are others.
Al menos hasta ahora, la duda de haber sido visitado sigue sin respuesta. Pero la segunda parte de la revolución de Copérnico podría estar más cerca que nunca, gracias a algunos avances en la era espacial. Hoy, la mayoría de las misiones de la NASA se percibe públicamente como rutina. Sin embargo, hay algunas que todavía cautivan la imaginación humana, en especial cuando se trata del descubrimiento de Marte, el planeta que ha jugado un papel central en el tema de la vida extraterrestre. Mientras los estudios continúan, parece que se ha ganado el primer lugar. Durante buena parte del siglo, la duda sobre la vida en Marte ha sido objeto de especulación. Pero hoy, las evidencias comienzan a suplantar las elucubraciones del pasado. Aunque los resultados de numerosas misiones no muestran signo alguno de los hombres verdes, sí sugieren que en algún momento Marte pudo haber acogido alguna forma de vida.
My personal feeling is that yes, Mars had a very substantial atmosphere early on with a lot of liquid water on the surface, and perhaps enough to form these river channels and river valleys that we see that are quite ancient, that are perhaps older than 3 billion years old. So the issue of the ancient climate of Mars is an important one for the issue of whether life could evolve. I think you can start to persuade yourself that the possibility of life could be somewhat reasonable, actually, and particularly if you accept the postulate that if life can't exist, it will exist.
La duda sobre la vida en Marte es desde hace poco un tópico importante. Muchos dicen que las muestras del planeta rojo tomadas por la NASA muestran claramente una monumental formación en su superficie. Se dice que estos llamados monumentos reproducen un rostro humano, lo que se conoce como el rostro de Marte. A pesar del indudable parecido humano, los científicos rechazan el hecho de que haya sido una construcción dirigida. Dicen que fue formada orgánicamente, al igual que los monumentos de la Tierra, asombrosos pero moldeados por la naturaleza.
I can't think of a group that would have publicized that possibility or that discovery more than those of us who were looking at the pictures. We were looking for stuff like that. Our careers would have been made. We would have loved to have trumpeted to the world that we found evidence of an ancient Martian civilization. Who the heck wouldn't? And after somebody pointed that out, those of us on the lander team looked at one of the boulders on the surface nearby the lander, and we decided we could see the initials of every team member in the boulder that was about 10 feet away from the lander.
Actualmente existen numerosas misiones a Marte ya listas o en etapa de planificación. Pero algunas de las muestras que los científicos estudian no se descubrieron tan lejos. Recientemente se han encontrado meteoritos en los nevados paisajes de la Antártida, identificados como de origen marciano. Los científicos creen que se desprendieron de Marte hace 16 millones de años, cuando un asteroide chocó contra su superficie. Los meteoritos llegaron hasta aquí, alcanzando la Tierra unos 13.000 años después. Luego de reunir y analizar estas asombrosas rocas, los científicos presentaron algunos resultados increíbles. Un equipo de investigación de la NASA pasó 2 años estudiando los meteoritos y sostiene que estas rocas, aparentemente normales, contienen fósiles microscópicos. Se cree que estos fósiles podrían corresponder a una forma de vida primitiva muy similar a la hallada en las rocas antiguas de la Tierra.
And the important thing out of all of this is not so much whether these particular meteorites have actual biological material in them, but it's opened people's minds to at least accept the possibility that this may be something that could occur, and has opened this area for legitimate study.
Otra área abierta al estudio legítimo es la luna congelada de Júpiter, Europa. Hace unos años, las imágenes enviadas a la Tierra desde la nave Galileo revelaron que Europa tiene un océano con más agua que todos los océanos de la Tierra juntos. Según los científicos, donde hay agua, hay vida.
There could be volcanic activity down under a liquid water ocean, and it's possible even that volcanic activity is helping to keep that liquid water layer there. If that's true, then you can start to think about biological systems that relate to the kinds of systems we have on the Earth. It's all highly speculative, of course, but it's the kind of thing that drives us as scientists to want to know more about a place like Europa.
Curiosamente, científicos y escépticos concuerdan con que la información obtenida de Europa y de Marte podría ser el vínculo que una a los dos bandos opuestos en el fenómeno de los ovnis.
I think it strengthens the hand of people who believe that life is fairly commonplace within the galaxy and within the universe, because now we don't have just one example, we've got 2 or more examples nearby. So that's why this becomes of profound importance, perhaps one of the most profoundly important things that man has ever done.
Por ahora, los científicos deben aguardar pacientemente a que los datos recabados por naves no tripuladas amplíen su entendimiento del universo. Se muestran optimistas de que los resultados de estas importantes investigaciones existan en un futuro cercano. Quizás entonces es posible que el misterio de los ovnis sea resuelto, aunque muchos creen que eso es improbable.
It's been with us for centuries. And so the person who studies mythology and religious traditions in the world, I think I have as much to say on this subject as the scientist does. So the nature of the evidence depends on the individual and their own training and belief systems. And I say that there is a deeper process going on inside us as individuals that prevent us from looking at this evidence as objectively as we should. And we use our career as an excuse to avoid confronting this new reality.
Pero para algunos, esta nueva realidad ha sido aceptada sin dudas. Claramente, hay algunos que no necesitaron datos concretos para creer. Los investigadores se preocupan por el impacto que tiene esta actividad en lo que consideran un campo serio de investigación.
I think millennial fever is certainly taking its toll on UFO research, and I think good information is being hard to come by. We know that there are people whose belief systems are operating at fanatical speeds, are tending to muddy the waters a great deal.
Pero a pesar del ambiente pesado, aún hay quienes tienen esperanzas de que el estudio continúe.
This multidisciplinary area we call ufology is terribly important because it's a lot of different disciplines being brought together. Some of them are scientific, others are non-scientific, some are sociological, others are psychological. And a lot of people are having genuine experiences. But it does not follow that the explanations we glibly give, and I think if we understand UFOs, we'll understand ourselves and our planet a lot better.
¿Hemos sido visitados? Quizás jamás lo sepamos, pero mientras el hombre persista en su curiosidad sobre el universo, la búsqueda continuará.